Hi everyone, I'm Victoria Sharp and thank you so much for joining me for the third class in our little yoga mobility flow session. We have done some hip stuff, we have done some spine stuff. Tonight we are going to dive into some other areas of the body. So when you're using all of these three classes, you should feel fairly refreshed, strong, and flexible by the time you are done. All of these classes have been pre-recorded and they are going to be here for you to continue to enjoy. So I hope that you enjoy this evening's class, and I can't wait to see you next week live on Zoom.
So focusing on the shoulders. 2 blocks handy at the top of your mat. And if you do have a ball, you can grab that and just place it at the top of your mat as well. If you don't have one, that's fine. It's just an added tool for us. We'll welcome Cairo to the mat as well too. Good morning, Cairo. Find yourself seated in a comfortable position. Legs can be wherever they feel good as well. They don't have to be crisscrossed here in Sukhasana. They can stretch out or bend in any way that it feels good for you. And once you get yourself there, feel the sits bones by rocking side to side. You can even rock front and back a little bit. And try to settle yourself in where your spine feels really erect over top of those sits bones so that you're not arching your back overly one way or the other. Let the shoulders get heavy. And I always like to start with a little check-in of our breath. So you can close those eyes down if that feels comfortable for you. Resist trying to change anything at the moment. Allow yourself to observe where you are, externally and internally. With your eyes closed, can you paint the image in your mind of the space that you're in? You might forget some details. That's okay. We're just scanning through our space externally, using just our mind's eye. Begin to draw your focus inwards. Feeling that internal space. You can notice down the limbs of your legs and your arms. Feel into the torso, letting the belly be soft, the chest. Allow the muscles in your face to relax. Now we'll begin to focus on our breath. Let the inhalations pull in deep down into the belly. And the exhalations slowly trickle out. Inhale, full and complete. And exhale, slowly breathe out. We'll continue to focus on this breath, deep and full, slow and smooth. Finding a pace that feels good for you. And learning how to use our breath to create space in the body and in the mind. And how to strengthen our body and our mind. The inhales will open us up. And the exhales will strengthen us. Let's take a few more focused breaths, just like this. We'll seal our hands in front of our heart space and bow our chin to our chest. Today I'd like you to set an intention for your class. And you might think of your intentions like goals. However, it doesn't have to be so specific of something that you want to achieve. Maybe it's a little more simple or broad, like I want to focus on my breath, or being present here in the moment. Could be something about the physical movements, or anything else that you might be working on in your days. Hold that into our heart space. And gently flutter the eyes open and softly lift your gaze. Let's let those hands release down into your legs. If you feel like you've been sitting the same way for too long, you can always switch the cross of your legs or switch up that movement. Hands resting on your knees. Begin by drawing our shoulders up towards our ears as high as we can. And then letting them fall down towards the earth. Not just at neutral, but below neutral, like you're trying to really press them down. Let's do that a few times. So inhale, squeeze the shoulders up. Exhale, press the shoulders down. Again, inhale, squeeze the shoulders up. And exhale, press the shoulders down. Inhale, squeeze and let them glide up. And exhale, let them fall down. Now start to bring your shoulders forward as much as you can without rounding the back. So keep the spine tall and see if you can pull the shoulders in front of your space and try to keep your hands and elbows out to the side. And then squeeze the shoulder blades behind you. Again, we're trying not to arch our back. We're using the strength of our shoulder blades. So I'm not opening up the spine. I'm just squeezing in the shoulder blades as much as I can. Bring the shoulders forward. And then pull the shoulders back. I find this really challenging. Let's do this again. Forwards, we're working on the movement in our scapula, which is your shoulder blade. And then pull it back. Squeeze it back. One more time, pulling them forward. And then drawing them backwards. You can keep your hands resting down on your lap if that feels comfortable, or you can start to reach your arms out in front of you. Let's put all those movements together. So shoulder blades are coming forward. Shoulder blades are coming up towards the ears. Now try to pull them behind you and then send them down toward the floor. Good, and try to really feel this in that upper back. So shoulder blades are coming forward. Shoulder blades are coming up towards the ears. Now try to pull them behind you and then send them down toward the floor. Good. Bring them forward. Just realized I forgot to pin myself. Bring them up. And bring them down. And bring them back to neutral. Let's see if we can reverse. You can rest your arms down if it's feeling like they need a little bit of a break here. And then let's put them back up. Now we're going in the backwards order. So see if you can squeeze those shoulder blades behind you. Lift them up towards your ears. Bring them forward. And bring them down. And we're really working to isolate right in the shoulder blades. Squeeze it back. Lift them up. Bring it forward. And bring it down. One more. Squeeze them back. Lift them up. Bring it forward. And down, and rest those arms down. I find that really challenging for myself to be able to isolate it in the movement. So if you did too, that's really normal if you haven't focused on that before. Let's take our arms up overhead now. Big inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down through your heart center. Just syncing our breath with our movement. Inhale, arms lift up. And exhale, hands come down through the heart. Again, inhale, arms lift up, and exhales all the way down. Resting the hands down at the lap again. Right arm is coming forward. Start to reach it up overhead as far as you can. And let's pay attention to how this feels in our shoulder. If you're getting any pinching sensations here, just open up the arm until that pinching sensation goes away. Work your best to keep your elbow and your wrist as straight as you can. Without rotating the spine, can you begin to take your arm behind you, using that scapular retraction that we just worked on, all the way as far down towards the floor until you touch the floor behind you. Now let's lift that arm up from the back, all the way overhead, and then bring it all the way down in front. Let's switch sides. Left arm reaches forward and up, overhead. Remember, elbows straight. Pay attention to any pinching sensation. Start to internally rotate that arm, taking it behind you, working your best not to twist in the spine, and take it all the way down towards the floor. Tap the floor. And then we'll reverse that action, bringing it all the way up, overhead, and all the way down in front. Let's do this a few times to start warming up these shoulders. Right arm comes all the way up overhead. Once you're at the top, internally rotate, so spin your palm out and try to reach behind you, keeping yourself facing the front. As far back as you can, fingertips touch down. Now lift that arm up overhead or from behind. Keep reaching all the way up. Oh, I'm getting all my friends here today. And then bring that arm down. Hello, Lexer. Let's try the other side. Left arm, we reach it up overhead. Spin the palm to face the outside, take it back, squeeze those shoulder blades together, tap the floor down behind you, and then we lift it all the way up, overhead, and all the way down. Lovely job. Just do some nice shoulder rolls now. Let the elbows move with you, and go the opposite direction. Very nice. We are going to lay down on our left side. If you have a block or a pillow, I guess I should have said you could grab a pillow. You can put that under your head just for a little bit of comfort, but we're going to be moving, so sometimes it just gets in the way. Try to keep clearance overhead so that you can reach your arm, so that there's nothing in the way. Stacking both hands on top of each other. So the right arm is on top, knees can just be bent in however they are comfortable. You're going to try to trace your nails, your fingernails, on the floor overhead. So sliding the top arm over your head, that's the right arm. Trying to keep it on the floor as best as you can. Now we'll use our spinal rotation here to help open us up and take that arm all the way in a big circle behind you, and all the way down and around until it comes up over your hip again. And we meet back at the center. Now, if the fingertips don't touch the floor, of course, that's not a problem. Just working to keep your arm as straight as you can. So even if the arm is up here, and getting that rotation in the spine here, so you're getting to experience the twist. And all the way down and around. I call these angel wings. They feel really nice. I like to do them in bed. Nice big circles of the arm. Feel the chest open up. Couple more. All the way open. Around. Ending with the hands together. And now let's reverse that action. So you'll take that hand down over your hip. Take it behind you. You can even try to look at your hand. And then all the way up overhead. And circling it down. Take it over the hip. Coming behind. And all the way up overhead. We'll do one more full complete circle, taking that arm down, over the hip, coming behind you, and all the way over your head. Lovely job. To switch sides, you can simply just roll over onto your right side. I'm just going to flip over so that you can still see me. And we'll get ourselves laying down now on the right side with the left arm on top. Let's begin with our rotations here, taking that left arm up overhead. Trying to touch the floor with your fingernails. When you can't reach anymore, open the spine up. Take that circle behind you. All the way down. And then over the hip. Returning back to the center, and let's keep going. Circle the arm overhead, all the way back, behind you, and then down. If you're not going at the same time as me, that's fine. Just work with your own breath, your own timing here. Big circles, down and around. Until we end back at the starting point. Now we'll reverse, sending that hand down and around over your hip. And going behind you, up overhead, and meeting back at the hands. Taking it down over the hip, rotate the spine, all the way overhead. All the way around and meeting at the hand. Let's do one more. Take that arm down over the hip, rotate the spine to reach behind you, up overhead, coming all the way back to meet together. Once you're complete with that, you can use your hands as much as you need to press yourself all the way up. And we'll find our way into a child's pose. So coming onto your knees, sinking the hips back, and reaching the arms out in front of you. You can let the elbows rest down toward the floor. That feels more comfortable, giving those shoulders a little bit of a break, and starting to warm up through the hips. Sometimes it feels nice for me to roll or rock side to side in my child's pose to settle my hips into the best position. And once you find that position, take a few deep breaths to see if you can release even a bit more. Hips are getting heavy. Spine is feeling long. On an inhale, let's come all the way onto our hands and knees, finding a tabletop. Warming up through the spine with some spinal segmentation into our cat-cows. Start by lifting the tailbone up and very slowly moving through the vertebrae. until you come into your deepest expression for your cow pose. Sternum pulls down, gaze comes forward. On your exhale, tuck that tailbone under, draw the belly in to help you slowly roll the spine all the way up toward the ceiling into your cat pose. Let's keep going back and forth. Inhale, tailbone lifts up. Keep the low belly hugging in to help control how the spine is moving. So you come into your cat pose. And tucking that tailbone under, very slowly moving back into your cat pose. Gripping the mat with the fingertips to help you move. Let's do one more time. Inhale, lift that tailbone up. Move nice and slow. Think about opening up in the chest. And exhaling, tuck the tailbone, rounding all the way into your cat pose. Lovely work. Let's inhale into a neutral spine. Tuck your toes underneath you, and we're coming into a downward facing dog. We're going to end up in a forward fold at the top of the mat. So if downward facing dog isn't something that you're feeling up to at the moment, you can just make your way to the top of the mat. Pedal out the feet. Feel the stretch in the backs of the legs. Feel the length in the spine. And here, this is a shoulder strengthener. We're pushing our hands into the mat, letting our shoulders stabilize to help hold us in this strong posture. Just a few breaths here. And we'll rise up onto our toes, look forward, bend the knees, and take as many steps nice and wide all the way until you get to the top of your mat in your forward fold. Let your head hang down, and feel free to even sway side to side, stretching one leg and bending the other, seeing how that feels in the back of the body. We'll end in that neutral position. On your inhale, come up halfway into your flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Draw the belly in. And exhale, fold yourself down. Let's do this a few times. Your inhale, halfway lift, find length. Exhale, fold yourself down. Again, inhale, halfway lift, find some length. And exhale, fold yourself down. Using the strength of your legs, circle your arms out to the side, and let's come all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to your heart. Let's keep this movement. Inhale, lifting those arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive by taking your arms wide and folding yourself all the way down to the mat. Inhale, come up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale, circle the arms around and up to come and stand. And exhale, hands to your heart. I love doing these half sun salutations to really unite the breath with my movement. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, arms go wide, fold yourself down, bend your knees generously to help you. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold yourself back down. Inhale, circle the arms around and up to come and stand, strong legs. Exhale, hands to your heart. Let's do one more. On your inhale, lift the arms up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, open the arms wide as we fold all the way down, releasing the head. Inhale, come up halfway. If you feel like blocks would be helpful, if the earth feels like it's far away, you can put those underneath your hands. Let's step back with the right foot and place the right knee down onto the floor. You can always put extra padding underneath your knees as well if they feel a little bit sensitive. You can move the blocks underneath your shoulders to help you really stabilize and feel comfortable. If not, hands can go to the front thigh here. Tailbone is coming down, pubic bone is lifting up, and trying to squeeze those hips into that neutral position. You can shift yourself forward just a little bit as long as you're keeping that pelvis in alignment. Now, right hand is going to stay on the knee or on the block. So whatever one you're doing, that is there to help keep you a little bit more stable. Left arm is going to reach toward the front of the mat. Now this is a bit of a balance challenge. Keep your gaze forward if you feel wobbly, or if you want to challenge your balance, look at the left thumb. Start to lift the left arm up overhead. You can watch it. And then take that circle and twist the body as you reach behind you. Maybe you're still looking at your thumb, or you can just keep looking forward. Comes all the way down, looking forward, going all the way up, taking it as far behind you as you can, and all the way down. Let's try one more, taking it forward, all the way up, all the way back, and returning back toward the center. Great job. Hands come down towards the floor so they can stay on your blocks. Back knee lifts up. Start to transfer all of your weight to the left foot until you can step the right foot forward. Use your blocks under your hands to help you. Inhale, halfway lift, find length in the spine. Exhale, fold. This time stepping the left foot back, finding that nice low lunge, back knees on the floor. I'll show this side with hands on the blocks. So if you have those blocks, move them underneath your shoulders. We're still thinking tailbone down, pubic bone up, squeezing everything in, and then shifting forward to feel the stretch in the back leg. Make sure that you're feeling stable, and if you are, you're keeping your left hand on the block or on your knee, and now reaching the right arm forward. Gaze stays forward if your balance feels a little wobbly. If you want to challenge your balance, look at the right thumb. Start to reach that arm up overhead, circling it behind you, and all the way down. Come past your thigh. Let's come forward again. We're doing 3. Nice and slow. Reaching behind. We're using the spine here to help us rotate. 1 more. Start to reach forward, all the way overhead, and all the way back. Excellent work. Let's take our hands down towards the floor or onto your blocks. Reach them forward. Lift the back knee up off the floor. Move all of your weight onto the right foot and step the left foot forward. You can move the blocks out of the way for a moment. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale, circle your arms around and up to stand. Then exhale, hands to your heart. Let's keep ourselves moving here. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, big swan dive down to the floor. Bend your knees a lot. Inhale, come up halfway. On this exhale, plant your hands down to the floor, bend your knees a lot, and come back down onto your knees for your tabletop position. We're actually going to come right down onto the belly, but before you get there, make sure you can reach all of your props, like your blocks and your ball if you have that. You might need to move back just a tiny little bit, and then gently lower yourself all the way down. For this first movement, we're going to take our block and either level 1 or level 2, depending on what it feels like in your shoulder. And if you don't have necessarily a yoga block, just anything to elevate your arm up off of the floor. We're placing it on the upper arm, and I'm using my right arm. It's reaching out towards the side, and I'm actually going to hold a ball in my hand just to keep me a little bit more honest of keeping the arm nice and straight and strong. If you don't have a ball, that's okay. You can just make a fist. Now, if you lay down and put your forehead on your hand, if this feels pretty intense right here, just stay in this position. If you'd like to create a bit more challenge for yourself, try to roll yourself to the right side a little bit, and you can even bend the left knee up into a half frog. So whatever one feels the best for you. Now we're trying to rotate our humerus, which is our upper arm bone, in the shoulder joint. So we wanted to focus on that movement, not moving from the elbow or the wrist, but moving right from the upper arm in the shoulder joint. So begin to internally rotate. If you're using a cork block, you'll get a bit of a myofascial release. And then try to rotate the opposite way, externally rotate. And internally rotate. And externally rotate. Again, we're focusing on moving at the humerus in the shoulder, not the elbow or the wrist. Internally rotate, squeeze that ball. And externally rotate. Internally rotate. And externally rotate. Keep going here, internally rotating. And externally rotating. Returning back to that neutral position. Your leg is out to the side. You can come back onto your belly with your legs straight. And lift your gaze up just so we can switch positions. So now take that block and put it down on level 1 if it wasn't there already. And we want our elbow and a bit of our forearm to be on the block. And we're in a cactus arm, and we want that elbow right out from our shoulder as best as we can. We'll lower our forehead back down toward the floor. And I like to rest my forehead on my hand, and I'm still squeezing that ball. Again, if you don't have a ball, you can just make a fist. Here we're mainly focusing on the external rotation of the shoulder. So start to squeeze that ball, press the elbow down into the block, and see how high you can lift your hand up towards the ceiling without letting the elbow come off the block. And then bring it back down. And it might not come up very high, that's okay. Start to squeeze and lift. Can you hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax it down. Let's try that a couple more times. Keep the elbow down and lift it up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. And if you're finding a block or anything elevated is just too high, you can always just place your arm on the floor. Let's try one more time. Lifting that arm up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Well done, everyone. Stretch that right arm up overhead. If you have the ball, you can just keep a hold of it. Now we're pinned down facing the floor with our chest. Let's do our shoulder circles, but keeping our chest facing the floor. On the inhale, lift that right arm up. Start to spin it towards the side, and you have to go right over top of that block and all the way down until it's by your side. And then lift it up to reverse. Come out to the side like a T, over top of the block, and all the way down. Let's do that a few times. This is a shoulder carve. So we lift the arm up, come out toward the side, try to keep the rest of your body firm, all the way down by the side. And then lifting the palm up to the ceiling behind you, open the arm to the side, all the way overhead and down. We've got one more just like this. Lift that arm up, circle it out to the side, all the way down, and then lifting it up behind you, opening it out to the side, and resting it all the way down. Releasing the ball, releasing that side. I don't know about you, but my right shoulder is definitely feeling a little bit warmer. Let's move on to the left side. So we're going to start with those humerus rotations. So you want to set your block up on the left side so that it's underneath your upper arm. Maybe I'm just going to turn around so that everybody can see. And this is the one if you want to roll yourself away from the block a little bit to make it a bit more intense, you definitely can. And we're aiming to make the rotation happen at the shoulder, not the elbow or the wrist. Forehead comes down towards the floor, resting the upper arm on the block. Squeeze that ball or make a fist. And then begin to internally rotate at the shoulder. It's going to roll on that block. And then externally rotate. Keep squeezing the block. Or sorry, squeezing the ball, not the block. And then internally rotate. As much as you can. And externally rotate. And a lot of these mobility type moves is a lot of brain connection with the body. Internally rotate. So sometimes we get a little frustrated because we're not able to move the way that I'm asking you to. And it's just because it's so different than what you're used to doing. Externally rotate. You have to keep focusing for that neurological connection to fire up. Internally rotate. And externally rotate. Lovely work, everyone. Come back toward that neutral position. Let's flip that block to level 1 or place your arm right down on the floor and make that cactus shape with your arm. We want the elbow right out from our shoulder. And you can place your forehead back down. This one we're working that external rotation, trying to get the arm up or the hand up as high as we can. So firm up the body. And see if you can lift and hover up just a little bit. You can see this side's really challenging for me. And then lower it down. So now we're going to try to hold for 10 seconds. Ready? Here we go. Lift it up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Take a deep breath. Let's try that again. Ready? Lift it up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax it down. Let's try one more time. Ready? Here we go. Lift it up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Stretch that left arm right over your head now. Keep the block where it is. Keep squeezing the ball. Let's come into those shoulder cars. Lift the left arm up, circling out toward the side, over top of the block, all the way back until you come down beside you. And then press that palm up towards the ceiling, circling out toward the side, coming overhead and all the way down. Let's try it again, lifting that arm up. Keep the rest of your body firm, come out to the side, feel the strength, and all the way down. And then lifting the arm up, coming out toward the side, overhead, and all the way down. We have one more. Lift that arm up, circle out to the side, come down alongside you, and last part, lifting it up, opening it out to the side, coming overhead, and all the way down. Give those arms a rest. You can release the ball if you're holding onto the ball. You can set your block off to the side and push yourself up and back into a child's pose. That was so well done. I know that's really challenging work. The shoulders might be feeling pretty warm and tingly now. A few breaths in your child's pose. using your hands as much as you need underneath your shoulders. Tuck your chin and roll the spine all the way up to 6. Coming over onto our right side, I'm going to use a block for my head, just like a pillow, but you can use an actual pillow or a blanket. But another challenging one for the shoulders, because it is our shoulder focus day. So I'm lying on my right side with my head on the block for comfort, and my right arm is extending out toward the side. So we just worked a lot of external rotation, or we worked that external rotation with holding the ball. Now we're going to work our internal rotation of the shoulder. So this right arm, the bottom arm, bend it so that the fingers are pointing up towards the ceiling, and then make a fist. Your left hand is going to come over top and grab your forearm just above the wrist. Create a stretch by pulling that hand down toward the floor and a little bit toward your belly button. And you'll probably start to feel a pretty decent pull on the outside of your shoulder here. And just make sure that you don't bring the elbow down lower. We want to keep that elbow right in line with the shoulder. Now we are going to just hold here as we breathe into this stretch. You can close your eyes. That feels comfortable. Taking some nice deep rounds of breath in and out. And I find a lot of us find this sensation pretty deep and challenging. And this is an area I find a lot of my clients are a little bit weaker in. So we're going to work to strengthen this so that we can keep the entire rotation in our shoulders strong. So first starting with nice deep rounds of breath in and out. Using our breath to help our nervous system relax. We can find a little more space here. We're going to begin some active movement in this position, working as hard as you can. So when I say, you're going to try to push your bottom arm, your right arm, up into your left hand, but your left hand is going to force it back down. So you're in a little bit of a fight here. Ready, set, and go. Push up with the bottom arm and try to hold it there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now try to pull that hand down towards the floor as much as you can without using your top arm for 10, 9, 8, 7. You're trying to get deeper into the stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then gently just relax here. We're going to do that 2 more times. Take a few deep breaths. And every time you might just get a little deeper into the stretch. Let's try the pushing up into our top arm. Ready, set, and go. Pushing up as hard as you can for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now try to pull that hand down deeper into the stretch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it there and try to slowly rest. Maybe it goes a little deeper in the stretch. I'm going to try that 1 more time. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And now let's push up. Ready, go for 10, 9, 8, 7. Try really hard. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now try to pull down deeper, closer to the floor for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab that hand and slowly relax. Oh, you're in the deepest position you can possibly go. And then very slowly release the arm up and take a few little windshield wipers. Whew. That can get pretty intense, pretty aggressive right away. Creating new space right in the shoulder capsule. Okay, let's flip over onto the other side, so you can simply just roll over, or you can come up and over if you want to still be facing the screen. For every right, there's a left, so that means we gotta do the other side. And this is the last bit of strong, active work that we're doing here. Get yourself set up on the left arm, and then bend so that the fingertips are facing up towards the ceiling. And remember, we're trying to keep the elbow right in line with our shoulder. Making a fist. And then take that right arm over top, grab your forearm, and pull it down toward the floor until you come into the deepest stretch that feels the best for you. And each side will feel a little bit different. We start by just holding ourselves here in the stretch. You can close your eyes. Taking some nice, slow, deep breaths. And as we hold in this passive stretch, it allows our nervous system to catch up with what's happening here. Maybe start to feel a little bit more comfortable. Then we're going to put it to work. Let's start that active pushing and pulling. When you're ready, take a deep breath in and out. And now try to push up as hard as you can and don't let it come up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab and hold that arm in that deep stretch and soften, release, take a little break. We've got 2 more rounds of this. Let's get ready for the push up. Ready, set, and go. Push up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pull down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold there, pause and release, or no, don't come out of it, just relax, sorry. Oh, we've got 1 more. This is my challenging side, definitely. So I'm right here with you. Ready, set, and push up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab it, take it into the deepest stretch that you possibly can. Oh my goodness. Deep breath in, slow breath out. And then very slowly release and take a few windshield wiper actions with that shoulder. And you can press yourself up to release from the block and roll yourself onto your backs. Well done, everyone. That was a lot of deep mobility work for the shoulders. Once you come onto your back, give your knees a little hug, a little rock side to side. We're going to find our way into your final resting pose, Shavasana. You can bend the knees and let them knock in towards each other, or stretch the legs out, or prop yourself up any way that feels good. Let the shoulders relax. Let your body relax. And see if you can even let the breath relax. As your only focus here is to just be. And softly watch the breath flow in and out. Try not to become too attached to any thoughts. Allow your breath to deepen. And invite movements into your fingers and toes. And we'll take a nice long full body stretch. Big reach. And exhale, bending the knees in toward your chest. Give them a little hug. And we can roll over onto one side and use our arms to help push ourselves all the way up to our seat. Finding yourself in a comfortable position, you can close those eyes down. Let the shoulders become heavy. The spine be tall. Face is soft. And if it has meaning to you, you can seal your hands back in front of your heart space, bowing your chin to your chest. Returning back to the intention that you set at the beginning of class. This isn't a time of judgment, it's a time of acknowledgement. You can acknowledge if you feel like you were able to stick to that intention. And you can acknowledge if you weren't, and know that that's just something that you can come back to the next time that you're on your mat. Sending so much gratitude to all of you today. I know that working on shoulder mobility can be a bit challenging mentally as well as physically. So well done. I'm proud of each and every one of you. Be well, my friends. Namaste.